All right, and welcome to another special episode here as we host live at the CPMAs. Wait, no, that's right. We were
No, we're
not
not there. Crap.
invited. My bad. I
Oh my gosh.
apologize. So, nope, it's just. Oh, wow. It didn't take you
it
long, though.
sounds it sounds like the CPMAs want us there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, but no, we're obviously not there live. It's just Troy and I again. And yeah, welcome to another episode.
Let's go. Let's do this.
You got it. You got it, Troy. So what's new with
Man,
you?
man, as we record here Wednesday, March 4th, in all seriousness, the CPMAs are happening tonight and we wish them all the best of luck. All the artists
All
and
of our
everybody that's
former guests.
nominated and everybody presenting, and just hope everything goes well. Good night. And in all seriousness, like I know we've kind of said this jokingly in the past, but I really hope I can be part of that next year. I think I'd really like to do that. I think it'd be a
I
fun
would
event
too.
too. Yeah.
I would too.
So
It'd be fun.
we got to try to figure
Again,
out how to connect those dots and make those bridges happen there. So
yeah, let's make it our goal. And you know what? Let's reach out. And I don't know how does one get nominated?
I honestly think you can just go on when they. I think there's a spot like maybe somewhere in like October or November on their website where you can have nominations. Now I don't know if it has to be. And oops, I'm sorry about that. I don't know if it has to be an outside nomination or
Yeah.
if it can like you can nominate yourself. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that we'll have to figure out. But we'll have to keep an eye on their website and on their Facebook page and stuff to figure that
Yeah,
out.
I would say not only, yeah, I mean, and then reach out to the guests that have not only been on the show, their show, but
Hmm.
also our show,
Correct.
and just start getting them to, pitch in and start nominating us as well. We'll have to do a whole campaign on this. That'll be our goal for 2026.
Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Going into 2027, we will be the best podcast in central Pennsylvania. We already are. We're just not, yes, we are just not officially recognized as
Yeah.
the best podcast in
Well,
central PA.
that's kind of funny that I don't know how long ago this happened. Was this just this year that the best podcast award was in the was it in the Grammys or was it in something
Oh,
one of the award ceremonies? It was listed best podcast,
okay.
and because Joe Rogan didn't do all the ass kissing and money
Yeah.
donations that are required to be nominated, he was not nominated, so he didn't win best podcast award, right? But let's be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, the guy is the best podcast around, so we'll take it for that. So, uh,
Yeah. I mean, and let's be really honest, it's because he's not a fan of the Democratic side or the Biden party. So, I think that plays a huge role because not only that, but even people like Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla was the original big podcast that was out there, and he made a name for himself before everybody
yeah,
after him. So,
yeah,
and I think he's going on his 15th, 16th maybe year
that's incredible. Yeah,
of podcasting, which is
yeah,
amazing. I mean,
yep,
we're going in our sixth year, and that just kind of floors me to think about.
yeah. I remember it wasn't really a podcast back then, but there was a wrestling. They called it a recording, which he turned it into a podcast eventually. I think it was like
Yeah.
it was a guy by the name of Colt Cabana. He's a wrestler, and he called it wrestling road diers. That's what he called it. So as
Okay.
they were just out in the road and stuff like that, they'd just sit around and he'd be recording their conversations and stuff like that. And
Sure.
eventually it got to the point where he put it on air. And that's really what this is. It's just people BSing, having a good
Yeah.
time, having their opinion be out there, entertaining, and
Hmm.
that oh, for instance, here we go. Like I play football Sunday mornings, and we're all sitting there kind of around just BSing and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they kind of get on me a little bit about podcasting, and they're like, hey, why don't you ever have us on and that type of thing. And so we're sitting there, and sometimes the conversations get funny and out of hand and that type of thing. And every time something like that happens, they look at me and see like, see, this would be ratings for your podcast. So,
That's
but
funny.
yeah, and that's what it is. Like it's just people having fun, talking, having a good time, and you know, trying to entertain.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we can do, right?
So, I'm sorry, man. I was totally not prepared for this, and I feel like a freaking amateur. My watch is going off. My phone's going off. I don't
No.
have anything on silent. My sister's walking in the room. It's just everything's out of correct. This is my life for 2025,
I
2026.
was
So let's
just
just
gonna
be
say
honest.
yeah, you've had a interesting turn of events over the last this past
So,
year, I guess you can say.
um, but anyway, let me close off that thought. We started there with the CPMAs. I
Yeah.
honestly, truly, sincerely, wish the best for everybody involved in that tonight. And hope
Oh
everything
yeah.
goes well.
Most definitely. And
Yep.
I know we had talked about you talked about Matthews and
Chase
his
Matthews. Yep.
daughter, Chase Matthews and his daughter doing a
Yep.
podcast and being
Yep.
nominated.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind having Chase and
Minnie
no, well, yeah, I mean, I would
yeah.
have them both on, but I
Or
was even
Toscano. You're
thinking
talking about
of
Toscano.
yeah, I was thinking about
Yeah.
John and Chase. I thought that would be kind of a cool
Hmm.
banter back and forth. In fact, you know what? Maybe we can even invite them on and talk a little baseball as the season's coming up.
Yeah, they're both big
Yeah,
baseball guys, aren't they?
yeah, I believe they are.
Yeah, I know John Toscano. He's a sports guy of everything,
But yeah.
and I don't know Chase as well personally,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty sure he's a pretty big sports guy as well. In fact, don't they host a sports show, don't they?
They own
Yeah,
they host
yeah.
I forget. It's something
Is
it's
it
kind
Broad
of been
Street and
referenced.
Beyond? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Broad Street
Yeah.
and Beyond.
Yep.
So but yeah, I think they would be cool guests to talk about some
Absolutely. 100%.
baseball and
Good
we
guys,
can
and I'd
have
love to chat with them. Absolutely.
yep,
100%.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Especially now
So
that my Pirates are going to be a much better team than
I, I
previous
I was a
years.
year early, Howie. I was a year
I
early.
know, I know. This year I am on board with you on this one. Last year I wasn't sold, but this year
I
I
know
am
you weren't.
definitely
I know you
sold.
weren't. Uh,
So,
we'll stay in the sports realm here for just a second
sure.
and acknowledge the passing of Lou Holtz,
Yeah,
89 years old. Just just an iconic figure, right? Like,
really
I mean,
is.
great coach for sure, obviously, without being said.
You
But
know
just
who I compare him to as far as who he was compared to like in the NFL?
Madden.
I would even say a
Okay.
little more elite.
Oh,
Tom Landry.
okay. I was making the comparison as far as being a great coach and then going into the commentating game and being good at that as
Okay.
well. You know,
Yeah.
but I see what you're saying for sure. I do.
Yeah, Tom
Uh,
Landry was always professional,
hmm.
and he had a methodical way of coaching, and not only coaching, but those relationships with his
Yeah,
players.
yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm a Michigan fan, but in the
yeah,
same breath, I've always kind of liked Notre Dame. I don't really know why. It's weird because I know they have a rivalry and that type of
hmm
thing. I think it's the golden helmet always kind of I liked. I don't know,
yeah,
and the whole nostalgia of Notre Dame and playing, with touchdown Jesus in the other end zone. That was always
yeah,
pretty cool. So I always, will root for Notre Dame as long as they're not playing Michigan.
yeah.
But yeah, Lou Holtz, man, just an iconic figure. He had that I don't even know how you would explain his tone. He kind of had like that little bit of a, but like almost like he had too much saliva in his mouth or something like
Yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
He had that
um,
matter of fact attitude too, like
definitely,
you
definitely,
know.
yep. But a great dude, and I think he was on ESPN for the longest time after his coaching
Hmm.
career. Just you know, outstanding coach, and just wanted to acknowledge his passing because I thought it was worthy of being acknowledged.
Without a doubt. No, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even know about it until
Yeah,
you just said
I think
something.
it honestly was pretty recent. I think it all happened within the last 2 hours or so. Shouldn't say
Okay.
it was announced within the
It was
last 2 hours
announced,
or so.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
but speaking of old, I guess we can kind of go down another road that we were kind of chatting about here.
Sure.
Um, just kind of scrolling through Facebook and just saw this picture of an old diner, and it just kind of made me think of
Hmm.
sometimes I remember even probably 25, 30 years ago, I was like, man, what would have it been like to grow up in the 50s,
I know.
60s, them drive-in diners and just the greasers and the old muscle cars and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that
I
just
would have loved it. I would have
yeah.
personally loved it.
Yeah,
because
that would have been
I
fun.
grew up, I had a muscle car and I would have definitely have I feel like I would have fit in well during that era.
That was just and you know what I mean? You were cut off from the world, like, there wasn't all this technology like there is today. You couldn't
Mhm.
get a hold of somebody. if you made a plan, like you stuck to it. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
because there was no way to cancel last minute on them. You know what I mean? Like you weren't going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it.
Mhm.
They're not going to get your call. I guess you could call the diner or
Exactly.
whatever you're supposed to meet at. It
Yeah.
was a totally different era and time frame, and I just always like I always joked like if I would have grew up in that era, even though I'm not a smoker, I would have definitely had a pack of cigarettes rolled up in my shirt sleeve. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Hair all greased back.
yep, yep,
Yep.
yeah. Just something so cool about that era. The poodle
Yeah.
skirts. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, I mean, people dressed professionally. I mean, could you imagine if we collided those two worlds together with what's going on today and what was going on in the 50s? Could
Right.
you imagine somebody from the 50s walking into a Walmart
Yeah.
and seeing how people are dressed,
Yeah.
in their pajamas
Pajamas with
and
holes all over the
yep,
place, and
cursing out
yep,
everybody that walks in their way. I mean,
a white
that
T-shirt that they look like they've had on for 6 years, and
yep,
brown stains all
yeah.
over it, and
Yeah, so true. And I don't know how you are with when it comes to nostalgia. Like, and when you mentioned the 50s diner, immediately what popped in my mind was like shows like Happy Days.
yeah, yep,
I still love Happy Days. There's an app called Pluto for TV, and it's all
yep,
free, whatever.
yep.
And they actually have a Happy Days channel,
Nice.
and
Just
I
Happy Days all
will.
day long.
Well, not really, but it's
Okay,
Happy Days and affiliates of Happy Days. So
gotcha.
some hours it'll be Mork and Mindy, some hours it'll be Laverne and Shirley, and then Happy Days.
Yeah.
And I always, 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 when I get a chance, I'll turn that on. And I don't know, it just kind of, I love the innocence
Hmm.
of the time, where uh, people weren't as backstabbing as they are today. If I had a problem with you, I'm going to tell you, or,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true. I mean,
and
that's yeah.
yeah,
And if there was a problem and you did need to solve it,
yeah,
it was solved by fists. That's
yeah,
what it wasn't solved by somebody pulling out a Tech Nine and popping six in your head.
yep, exactly.
So
That's an interesting thought to think about because even when I was in high school, if we had an issue with each other, we'd be like, all right, Pizza Town 315, and that's where we would meet. We'd fight it out and then we'd be done. Next day, you and I could be best friends, and that's just the way it was.
yeah, it's
Um,
so weird that that's how guys can be. They can fight with each other and hate each other's guts the one day, but then when it comes to that showdown, and it must be something about showing your manliness to another man, and then
yeah.
that grows that respect. Like, hey, I
Well,
know we had a
yeah, the fact
problem,
that I'm
but
not
you
going to
stood
back
up and you
down.
stood for what you believed in, and I'm standing up for what I believe in, and we're gonna go
Exactly.
at it, and whatever. You came here, here we
Yeah.
are. Let's do this.
Yep.
Hey, respect. You know what I
But
mean?
yeah, I mean, hey, I remember, had an ex-girlfriend who cheated on me and I just went over and pummeled the guy who she cheated with. And after I was done with that beat up session, I was done. I was just like, you know what?
Feel
I
better.
got my frustration out. We're good to go. And then I moved on. Um, but today, man, that same person would be calling the police and I'd be locked up for a year,
Yep.
you know?
100%. Yeah. If you would have went over there and took care of business like that, absolutely, you'd be in jail right now. Yep.
Yep, exactly. I'd be considered a domestic terrorist.
Did he continue seeing her after that?
You know what? I don't think he did. So, I mean, if he did, it was short
Sure.
lived.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't, in fact, I don't even know. Maybe he's dead by now. I don't know, but
What? You beat him that bad?
I did not do it. Just so you know.
Are you incriminating
Um,
yourself right now, Howie?
that's right. That's right. But no, I don't know. I don't know whatever happened. But I do know it was short lived because she ended up being with someone else who I
Hmm.
think she eventually married.
Oh, okay.
So, so
Well,
yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm good. Got my frustration out. We moved on, and that was kind of how we settled things back in the day.
it was.
And yeah, I mean that's a whole different twist of nostalgia, but to go back to that 50s diner, I mean, what was so attractive to you when it came to like a 50s style diner? Because they're still out there. There's one in Pine Grove, by the way, which is near us.
That's right. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, this is gonna sound really dumb, but I don't care because this is what I always picture
Yeah.
when I think of an old style diner like that. Incredible big chocolate milkshakes with
Oh,
whipped
yes.
cream and a cherry on top. I don't know why that's always the first thing that pops in my mind when I think of an old diner.
No, no, I would agree with that. That's not dumb at all. Um, that or just the big giant pie cabinets, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So, or the soda
Desserts in
fountain.
general, right?
Yeah, yep.
And they were all like homemade desserts. It wasn't like, like
Oh, you got it.
a tasty cake brownie or something in
Yep.
there.
Mil Mildred or whatever 50's name was out there back in the day.
Yep.
Mildred was the person who was making
Yep.
the pies first thing in the morning.
Yep. No hairnets, cigarette
Yep.
hanging out of her mouth. Yep. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or
Yes,
it's
but no,
funny. I
that
was
was
going to say Esther,
good
but there
times.
is actually an old diner in Fredericksburg called Esther. So
Yes, and I think I don't think they've remodeled since the 50's, if you wanna
yeah,
be
you're
honest.
probably right.
Ah,
But it's
yeah,
that was a good diner too back in the day. I always enjoyed going there.
yeah,
I haven't
oh,
been there in
yeah,
forever though, so I don't know.
yep. I
Not too
was
far
actually
down the road
just
from you.
there I was just there last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
that's not far from you at all.
no, I can probably name on one hand how many times I've actually been in there, but my
You're
neighbor
kidding.
yeah, no, not at all.
Wow.
Um, but, um but my neighbor, um asked if I wanted to go have breakfast there. It was good breakfast. I was
Hmm.
filled. In fact, I didn't eat the rest of the day.
I think diners nail breakfast usually. They
But
really.
yeah.
I think their breakfasts are usually great. It's hard to find a diner that can mess up a breakfast.
Yep. I agree.
So,
I
um,
100% agree.
I don't know why this came to my mind. I was gonna bring this up real quick. We were talking. Oh, before we get off diners, there's one more thing I wanted to mention too.
Sure.
The drive up diners, and then
Oh,
you'd
yes.
have these buttons, these push talk buttons, and then sometimes the waitresses would bring the food out to you on blades or well, actually it wouldn't have been roller blades then, it would have been
Roller
skates
skates.
back then. Yeah, and I just kind of wonder how many mishaps happened because of that.
Probably a lot. Probably a lot. But then
Yeah,
again, hamburgers were 15 cents back in the day, so it didn't really matter too much.
yeah.
Um,
And I'm sure like the stuff they were bringing it out in was glass. I'm sure it wasn't
mhm.
plastic. I'm sure plastic
When
wasn't as accessible and used as much as it is now.
you think about it, I mean, didn't Sonic kind of try to bring that back in a sense?
They did. Did they? I guess it was optional whether they wanted to bring it out on roller skates or not, right?
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I just remember that you stayed in your car
yeah.
and they brought it out
Um,
to you.
did you ever go? This the closest one that I can remember. An old diner that used to do this was the Dixie. Did you ever go to the Dixie here in Lebanon, Pennsylvania?
I'm pretty sure I did. I remember
Okay.
it.
Now I think they had stopped doing the roller delivery at that point. But I remember being pretty young, probably 6, 7 years old, somewhere around 6, 7. But anyway,
Yeah.
around that age, and the buttons outside still working, and they'd still deliver your food out to you. I'm pretty sure that was still happening as a youngster.
Mhm.
But like I said, it wasn't the blades or anything like they're the I don't know, I keep calling them blades because that's what I do. The roller skates, they weren't using them anymore.
Yeah.
But again, funny because every time I think of the Dixie, I think of that chocolate milkshake at the Dixie.
That is funny. That is funny. But yeah, I
And
mean,
now I'm
those
gonna
are
be
things.
hungry, and I'm freaking trying to be on a diet here.
Oh, yes. Um, well, I mean, I thought you already landed your supermodel girlfriend.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I mean, that's what Janelle Bunchin's been posting in the
But yeah,
social
okay.
media.
Giselle
Yeah, she
Giselle
was like,
Bundchen. Giselle.
freaking,
She moved on from the Tom's trainer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, I don't need Tom. I don't need my trainer. I just need a Troy.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
give me a call.
So. uh,
Um. So we were talking about nostalgia, and it kind of made me. You were talking about
mhm.
prices too, and it made me think of this whole penny thing with pennies being
Yeah.
not being made anymore. And I guess the reasoning was it just was costing more to make them than they were worth at this point? Is that kind of
That's pretty
basically why
much
it
it.
was? Yeah.
Yeah, the price of copper was actually more valuable um, than, well, I mean, the penny was more valuable than the price of copper, meaning that, the cost to make a penny, you were losing money.
And if I'm not mistaken, though, they weren't really being made out of full copper anymore, right?
No,
They were
there
just
was copper
basically
and some
copper
other
coating,
metal.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, it just kind of made me think of going into the stores now and stuff, and you pay with
Hmm.
cash, and if it's $6.91, they're going to give you um, I guess they would give you what 10 cents back, but if it's $6.94,
Yeah.
they're only going to give you 5 cents back. So
Yep.
now you know, I literally heard somebody complain about like that was in front of me in line. Well, where's my penny? They're
Yeah.
like, well, sorry, sir, like we're not doing pennies anymore. And he's like, well, then I should get more. Then I should get
Hmm.
another nickel or whatever, to make up for this. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't believe we're at the point where as worthless as a penny is,
Uh-huh.
that we're complaining over a penny. Like,
Yeah.
but is it weird to kind of understand that people work hard for their money and they're proud of what they've earned and
Hmm.
they don't want to feel like they're getting ripped off, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's a
Well,
penny. So that I'm
yeah,
kind of stuck in the middle there. Like
it is tough, but then when you think about it from a marketing standpoint, when you see these commercials, for as low as
yeah,
199.99, you can
right.
get this,
Yeah.
under $200. So okay, here's my two $100 bills.
Mhm.
What am I going to get back? Zero, right? So
Right.
I paid $200. So to me, that could be opening up a potential lawsuit,
Yeah.
you
Cuz
know?
I think at this point I I almost wonder if we just have to go to all fives on the
I
prices.
I would
But
imagine
then
it will
but
get
then
there.
in Pennsylvania here our sales tax is 6%. So then do we need to drop that or will it always be if the price ends in a 5, it doesn't matter what the percentage is, it'll always end in either a 5 or a 0, correct?
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
so
and
you
I
just need
guess
to
if
change
you
prices so that they're either ending in a 5 or a 0.
right. I mean, when you charge tax on 99 cents, it is gonna come out to $1.05, so,
Right.
um,
So but
but
if you charge tax on a dollar,
it's a dollar
now it's
six,
a dollar
right?
6. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So maybe the sales tax will need to be adjusted as well then too. Maybe that needs to come
Mhm.
down to 5%.
Well, I like your way of thinking, but that, government
Instead
doesn't
it's going
think
to go
that
to
way.
10%, right?
Exactly. It's gonna go up to 10%, so I'm gonna stay a little quiet on that. Um, so because that's gonna, because well, I'm sure California is already coming up with a plan for their gas tax, you know? It's already high
Yeah.
enough, but hey, you know what? No more penny stuff.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
instead of 89 for a gallon of gas out there, they're gonna jump it up to $8.
Yeah. It's like my sister's up here visiting from South Carolina right now. She just kind of is like, I can't believe the gas prices up here,
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah, it's
I think
crazy.
she said they were like, did she say like 210 or something down there? Or I don't know, something like that.
Okay, I know
Yeah.
I know my son down in Mississippi.
Hmm.
It's in the low twos.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in Mississippi now. What's he doing there?
yeah, he's still doing the naval thing.
Hmm.
He works as a electrical engineer for the U.S. Navy as a civilian.
Okay.
So he works on all their naval destroyers.
I did not know he was in Mississippi though. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, he moved from Philly to Mississippi within the last year.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
That's okay. It's okay. You
Um,
you had some things going on.
I did. I did. Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, we were
We
MIA
weren't.
there for a
Yeah,
few
I was gonna
months.
say we
Yeah.
took a little bit
Yeah.
of a hiatus for sure.
Yeah. Um. All right. Well, you brought up the Navy, so I guess we can open up this can. All right. So I guess a little something happened there since we talked last week, huh?
Yeah, I guess we're officially, unofficially, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know that we've declared war per se, but
Yeah,
definitely feels like a war.
it sure does. I
Yeah.
mean, we're bombing them every single day. We just don't have troops on the ground. I guess you can. I don't know if that means we're at war once the troops are there, but I feel like we're already there. We got ships bombing
Hmm.
a country. Um, we got a country trying to bomb us back.
Hmm.
So that sounds like a war to me.
Yeah. So when just to
And of
fill it,
course, we're
in
talking
case
about
you're living under
Iran.
a rock, yeah, I mean we're talking
Yeah.
about the United States bombing of Iran here. Um,
Epic Fury is it what it's called, right?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Operation Epic
Okay.
Fury.
See, I didn't know that. See, and I try to keep up with that, but not too much because sometimes I just don't understand it all. Which is
Yeah.
why I'm going to ask you the question I'm about to ask you. There's clips going around on social media of um, Joe Biden telling them no, like don't do it, think
Yeah.
twice. There's pictures of Obama saying no, don't do it, think twice. There's pictures of I'm shouldn't even say pictures, videos of Kamala saying no, don't do it. Trump doesn't say, well, he did say no, don't do it. But when he felt like they were calling his bluff,
Yeah.
he did something about it, right? So why were Biden and Obama, and I won't really throw Kamala in there because she wasn't in a position of power to do so. But
No.
why are they telling them no, but then bribing them with money to not do it instead of going in and doing something about it like Trump is now? Like
Right.
I don't understand how you think you're enabling somebody, right? By telling
Hmm.
them no, but then giving them a reward for not doing it. Well, of course they're going to keep acting like they do it because then they're going to keep getting something from you.
Yeah, and really, when you think about history in general, I mean, this goes far back as you can even imagine. But even during the Iraq War, during the George Bush administration, there was always reasons for us to do what we were doing. Even actually, you can even go back to Reagan if you want to really go back. We actually funded and gave Osama bin Laden money. We gave him weapons. Well, why do you think we did that? We gave him all that material because we wanted him to continue fighting Russia and weaken Russia so that during the Cold War, we were going to be more superior if things were to break out. So, so I feel like we give countries money, and we really don't always find out why until many years later.
It's a good
And
point.
so maybe the Biden and the Clinton and the Obama administration, maybe they had their reasons, or even George Bush. I think we're finding out now it was always based around oil,
Yep.
but during those
But I
other
think that was
administrations,
I think that was kind of even I don't know if it was known back then, but it was definitely
it
the
was
idea
thought.
was definitely that he was after the oil because that's well, let's face it,
Yeah.
that's what his business was in the United States. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
so
even, well, and Dick Cheney had a lot of investments with Halliburton,
right.
during that time. And obviously, Halliburton was a major player during that war because, we funded them to provide us supplies and such. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as why they tell Trump no, I think it's just simply because, um, what's the bigger agenda? What do we want to see? And in Trump's eyes, he wants to see wars not happening. Oh, and that's why he's been involved in 8 other wars as far as stopping them and preventing them from continuing. That's why he's trying to end the Ukraine Russia war. And if you think about it, we kind of provided instigation during that war. We enabled Ukraine to continue battling by providing them money
Hmm.
and weapons. And, maybe the bigger picture is to kind of get rid of Russia as a powerhouse. Maybe, I don't know. But usually that's why money is funneling around the way it is.
Yeah, that's just an interesting viewpoint because I don't know. I just the whole thing is just so confusing to me. Really, it is because like I don't understand if you're in one country and another country doesn't have the same government or beliefs or views or whatever is you, how does that affect your country? So why does it come to that point? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I have a neighbor and they have all kinds of different beliefs and viewpoints than I do,
Hmm.
I'm not going to start throwing stones at their house just because they have different viewpoints.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that affect me? That's his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think from this standpoint with this war, and again, I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinions about this, depending on what side of the aisle you swing from. But um, but I will say that over the years, Iran has always been about enriching, trying to build up their nuclear power, and and we don't really want a country that is saying death to America
Yeah.
and death
For
to
sure.
their allies that are surrounding them. I mean, they are a small missile range away from bombing England, if you really think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So when we see them building up an enrichment of nuclear technology and power, that becomes a threat to us, and and they're allies with people like China, and um, people like that, or even Israel, who obviously opposes them. They become a huge threat to Israel, and Israel's are considered our friends. So I think that's what kind of started it. We bombed their bunkers that were enriching all this nuclear potential,
Hmm.
and then we find out later that now they're building structures over top so that you can't see what they're doing from a satellite image.
Jeez.
So now we're like, okay, now what are you doing? Oh, well, now they're building up that technology again. And we already told them you can't be doing this because of how dangerous you are and how dangerous your country and basically how crazy your leaders are.
Hmm.
Um, the warning was given, and I think when you look at the big picture, Trump, out of all those people that we previously talked about, Trump was probably the only one that was not afraid to say, "Okay, enough's enough."
Yeah. Which is exactly what he did with the the president of Venezuela. I can't think of his name right now, but
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
uh,
Maduro or something.
yeah, that's it, Maduro.
Um,
Same thing. Like,
yeah.
there's only so many times that somebody's going to threaten you and
Mm-hmm.
basically challenge you to come after them.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many times can you just and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like he's not going to let us get stepped on. He's not going to let us get bullied.
No.
You know. So when he feels like enough's enough, and we've
Mm-hmm.
given you enough warnings, like you do to a kid, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I told you 3 times now to go clean your room. Now you
Mm-hmm.
haven't done it. Now there's a consequence.
Guess what? We're not
Yeah.
going to this place that you wanted to go to now.
Right.
So,
So, and I totally understand that. Um, I just don't know how. In general, I'm not saying United States bombing them. I'm saying just in general, how does it get to this point where Iran hates Israel and you know what? Like I don't get it. Like it's
yeah.
just let them run their country and live their life. It doesn't affect you.
I know.
You
I
know?
know. I think a lot of it has to do with religion, really, when you think about the
Yeah.
big picture.
Yeah.
Um, so many people don't believe in what we believe in here, so therefore we must all die. I don't know why that's even a thing. Kind of like you said, well, all right, I believe something different than you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, are
And
you affecting
if
me?
I'm so strong in my belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then okay, good. Then you're not going to go to the ultimate prize where I'm going to go. So, you know
Yes.
what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I
um,
mean, simple as that, right?
yeah. So guess what? I won't be seeing you later.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay, you know what? So we don't have to stay in the same circles, and all right, well, or you know what? Um I'm going to keep you in my circle because I want to learn from you. I want to learn your way of thinking. To me, it's like keep your enemies closer, right?
Yeah, and that's just it too. Like, it's we can boil it down just to even.
Hmm.
like in the United States with the political thing that we just talked about this last week. Like,
Yeah,
let's not be so stubborn and hard headed that we can't just have a conversation. You
I
know?
know. Well, and that's kind of, I mean, we talked about nostalgia earlier.
Yeah.
One of the things that we were able to do back in the day was we were able to have a civil conversation. And if we still didn't agree after that conversation, we just part ways and be like, all right, you know what? All right, so you believe what you believe, and may the best vote win, I guess.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, but not today, man. It's F you, F this, I mean, we're some of the foul mouths that we're hearing
Mm,
from people in higher power, to me it's just to me it's so much disrespect for, you know, for America and those who are watching this show go on.
yeah. Yeah. And and as far as being a Trump supporter, I mostly am, but I'll throw Trump right in that bucket.
Without a doubt.
He says some things that just sometimes you're like,
Hmm.
that was totally unnecessary. You didn't need to
Yeah.
say that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah, in all honesty, sometimes I think, back in my head, I'm like, please shut up,
yeah,
because you're not helping the cause.
yeah.
Your
I think
ideas are on
sometimes,
point, but
yeah,
but the way you're getting them out there sometimes hurts you.
and I think sometimes I'm guilty of this too, just goofing around with people, with
Hmm.
friends, with acquaintances. Like, I think he has good ideas and good thoughts, and for the most part a good heart. But I think sometimes he tries to be a comedian on top of it too, right?
Yeah.
And that's where he crosses the line usually. You know?
Yeah, I agree. But I also think too, a lot of his stuff is kind of clickbait. He wants to ruffle the feathers of the other side, because then that's how he gets talked about,
Right. That's a good
or
point.
he does it because he knows they're going to go off the deep end and make them look terrible because of that comment. You know, doesn't always come out that way, because
Right.
sometimes I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
please don't do that.
Like, the
But
one that really bothers me, and I understand that he doesn't have did not have a good relationship with Rob Reiner and could care less about him.
hmm.
Um, but basically saying that, I don't want to paraphrase because I don't even want to, but he didn't have very nice things to say about Rob Reiner after his
Right.
death.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm just like, okay, number one, like, probably didn't even need to acknowledge it at all if you didn't have a thought
Hmm.
on it, right? And
Yeah.
number two, if you did acknowledge it, just say, you know, him and I didn't see eye to eye, blah blah
Hmm.
blah. But it's a shame what happened. Take
Yeah.
the high road. You know what I mean? But instead, he like drags him down. The dude's
I
dead. He can't even defend himself.
I
Like,
know. I
like what?
know.
What are you doing?
Yeah, my comment would have been, you know what, Rob Reiner, what a talent in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's a shame he's gone.
Yep. Yeah. Something like
End it
that.
right there. Yep.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And yeah, I don't. he doesn't do that. He does not do that.
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He definitely beats to his own drum.
Yep. For sure.
So you will know
But
where he stands by the end of the day.
absolutely. Howie, can you believe this? This has been like 6 weeks in a row
I know. I know. This is what's wrong with us.
now. I don't know. We're shattering
You
records.
know what? We're on a mission. We're on a mission to be the best podcast in central Pennsylvania.
Men on a mission.
That's right. That's
That's not
right.
going to be our title of our show, Howie.
You know what? It's going to be that way. In fact, I am writing it down as we speak, Troy, in honor of you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No
We are on
problem.
a mission. We are coming for you, CPMAs.
That's right. That's right. Men on a mission. I like it.
um, that could be the subtitle of our show, like from now on. Stay tuned.
That'll be our tagline. Welcome to another episode of Stay Tuned with Troy and Howie. They are men on a mission.
Um, no, seriously, thanks for another great show, everybody. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I did have some. Actually, oddly enough, I had a couple friends reach out to me, and that's kind of how I found out about the whole mic thing.
Oh,
They're
okay.
like, "Hey, your mic kind of sounds a little off lately." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." So I started messing around with it this week, and hopefully this recording comes out better. We'll find out. So,
Yeah, sounds good so far. So,
yeah, awesome. But
yes,
anything
indeed.
else, Howie?
I don't think so. I mean, we were talking about previous administrations and whatnot. I do want to just
Hmm.
point it out, not from a
Yeah.
political point of view, but obviously with the Jeffrey Epstein files and all that stuff, they're interviewing the Clintons right now, and and Bill Clinton watched him on TV being interviewed, and man,
Hmm.
you want to talk about a fragile looking guy right now. I
Yeah.
feel, I feel kind of bad for the guy because you can just tell that he doesn't have many more years ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He looks pretty weak and frail for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He
I
was
mean,
like
not quite as bad
lifting.
as Joe, but
That's true. That's true. I think Joe's been dead for the last 5 years,
well,
maybe.
that's been the rumor.
Yeah. But yeah, with Bill Clinton, I mean, he was taking a sip of water from a glass, and I'm watching his entire hand
Hmm.
shake like
Hmm.
uncontrollably, and I'm like, wow.
Was that because of the frailty, or that's because of the questions that were being asked?
You know what? It could have been part of the questions too. I will say though, he basically exonerated Trump. He's like Trump. Trump, as far as I know, was not a part of this in any way, shape, or form.
That's funny. He would say that
Hmm.
unless I don't think he would say that unless there's something in it for him to say that too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
You know,
someone
so
else.
so would he just be trying to exonerate Trump because he might be tied to Trump somehow, and so therefore, if I exonerate Trump, I'm exonerating myself too. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? This whole thing is just so messed up, and
I agree.
whoever we find out had any part in this, like there needs to be consequences. There has
There's.
to be
Oh my
consequences. This
gosh,
is
yeah,
it's disgusting. It's terrible. Like every bad adjective you can think of is what this is.
yeah. And I know there's a lot of people on the left side saying release the files, because they think it's going to throw Trump basically in jail. And my thought process is release the files, but let's not look at who's Democrat and who's Republican.
Right.
Whoever's guilty needs, like you said, needs to pay the price, whatever
Yeah,
that is.
for sure. Yeah, I just can't. It's crazy to think that this has been going on this long
Hmm.
and been kept under wraps. Like that, doesn't it just make you wonder what else is being hidden from us? You know?
But yeah, I mean, well, you have enough money, and if you're a billionaire, you can pretty much do whatever you want, really.
Yeah. I mean,
You know.
buy thousands of gallons of baby oil.
But yeah, right. Exactly. Well, what kind of like throws me for a loop is Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even know how he got rich because he was originally a teacher.
Yeah. See, I don't know his backstory,
I don't
or
either.
again, I just like I'm a sports guy. I'm a music guy. That's what I'm into. So I don't really
Yes.
follow a lot of the political news and politics and popular news and that. It's not stuff that triggers enough for me to kind of remember it and really want to delve into it and learn more about it. But yeah, so what is his backstory? Like, where did all his money come from? How did he get
Right.
rich? Who did he know? Like, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff is would probably help you lead and know more about how this all
Hmm.
started to begin with. You know,
Yeah, and there's rumors out there that the guy's not even dead.
I heard that too. Heard that
And
too.
that honestly would not surprise me. Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but
Did you see the
w-
video floating around that somebody supposedly ran into what was her name? Ghislaine? Ghislaine? What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell?
oh,
The one that was his girlfriend or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I did not see that. What was
yeah.
that about?
I'll have to see if I can find that for you. Somebody
Okay.
ran into somebody that looked almost exactly like her in the street somewhere. I think it was in Canada
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yep. And supposedly she's locked up, right? Is that not the? Is that what they said? Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
supposed to be going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and apparently there was somebody with her that I don't know if it was like her manager or somebody that,
Mm,
was important to her business type side of things that was
yeah.
with her. I'll have to see if I can find that and send that to you.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that.
yeah. But
So
all right. I guess we can wrap this up then.
sounds good.
But yeah, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. And as long as God willing, we'll be back next week.
You got it. Till next week. Stay tuned.